tuning in to the whole nine.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. We in the building, nigga.
Yeah, baby.
Get off of this website right now.
Black time.
Man, what it is, man, it's Big Small signing out. Man, y'all check out the whole nine, man. Y'all go ahead and check out the blackhole.com, man. It's going to work. Out.
This is Medina. You're now tuned into the Whole Nine podcast.
Hey, though, I'm not nowadays. I'm not even impressed with like people like doing the indie, like because it takes no money to actually put nothing up. A little homie out here actually put me on. You know what I'm saying? Like reason being, right? Like when like back when we was like coming up, man, everything cost everything, right? Little homie told me nowadays. Yeah. Little homie told me nowadays, man, you got $200, man. You put out a whole album, go viral, and all this stuff, and start booking shows and getting paid out here. $200. Yeah, pressed up, mix and master, and all that.
As long as the product good, like.
But you talking about for Go Bible though.
You press up no product. No
everything on Go Bible for sure.
Yeah, I mean the competition has definitely increased.
Yeah. So, but one thing, you know what I'm saying? Another thing that I do, right? I do videography, right? And one thing I noticed, I seen the pattern off of, I could tell what's gonna go viral. All you gotta do is be like the most ignorant person out there, you know what I'm saying? Or you come from a struggle, or like, I'm gonna be honest, most people that live in like most project areas or poverty areas, right? It's nothing to get like people behind you because they want to see you blow because they figure, man, my man, he could blow next. So they gonna support you. They gonna be clicking it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times. So in the projects, how many people like in some projects, even in Jacksonville, let's just say 900. But if they all click it like 3 times or 4 times, it looked like a buzz to the next person. They gonna catch on. They gonna catch on. I've seen it with my, you know what I'm saying, videography. I'm like, yeah, bro, okay, y'all finessing people. Because on the outside of Jacksonville, everybody swear, but now this person big. But you know this person locally, you're like, man, he ain't big, man. That's Tony down the street. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But that's when you go out of town, start, you know what I'm saying, getting those fans, and then you do become big. And then you do get that bag. A little young teenager put me on game about that. And I'm like, bro, you ain't lying. Because after that, every video shoot, every photo shoot I've been to, all them dudes making money, and they not even top 10. You never heard of them. But they making thousands off this music. So when I'm saying, like, bro, man, it takes a few dollars just to do something. Yeah, man, you ain't a record label for what?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand how people would bypass going to a major first just to get leverage, but it really depends on the look you're trying to get for the most part. If you're trying to fund your own expenses across seas where you ain't gonna have that reach as an independent artist off the rip, then yeah, you might want to jump into a label deal.
So also, you already know too. So a lot of people with vampire stuff, right? Drake. You go to Atlanta, you get all them heavy hitters there. They have vampire some stuff. Basically, reaching back right to the youth, whatever's hot, right? Networking coming to play at that point, right? It's all on who you know. Don't burn bridges, or make sure you linked up with the right crew, right? If that be the case, and all these youngers, they know that. Matter of fact, I am not even no assuming, just talking to them, they know that. They got a game plan off of, hey, you know what? I know he gonna be over here messing with these people, whatever the case is. I'm gonna make sure I be in that area because if he feel my vibe, he might just want to link up with me just because I'm young and put me on just off his name. Cause I mean, Drake know what he do, man. Future know what he do just by getting on the track. You know what I'm saying? Migos know what they do by getting on the track. The song could be whack, but with them just being on the track alone. You know what I'm saying? You can change somebody's life. For real. And this is coming from the youngest, man. And I don't know. It's like a love and hate thing for how stuff going on right now, too. So, yeah.
I don't even listen to music no more, man. It ain't got that far for me. Like, I don't listen to no mainstream artists. Actually, I'm lying. I don't really pay attention to it, I would say. Like, I probably listen to like 1 or 2 days and then I'll be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like talent show music. For real.
Talent show.
Yeah, the
I was trying
last
to find the next one.
Yeah.
I like Lil Baby though.
I think it's because we old, like all the young motherfuckers, they own that music shit, just like how we was when we was coming up, like how we was deep into the hip hop game and we knew all the new artists and shit. All the young people, like they still in the mix, that you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to say they under the thumb of this entertainment industry, so they know what's popping and shit.
Popping to them though. Like I
just get out of touch. Like
Bro, why are you talking so far away from your microphone?
My bad, Dad. This shit crazy, man. So,
It's
like, nah. So like the young folks, like they still in the mix, just like how we was coming up, and like we was on it. The new all the new artists and shit. Like we knew all the new songs that was coming out. Like you know the young motherfuckers, they still in the mix, like just like how we was. You know what I'm saying? And I think we just out of touch a little bit. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like usually when I listen to music, I usually go back to my comfort zone, like Jeezy back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
I've been trying to branch out more to like newer artists. Like I put like the Baby on Pandora or whatever, just to see what pops up, just to see if anything that clicks or whatever. But I mean, some stuff.
Is it Lil Baby? Lil Baby got bars.
Oh, the Baby.
Lil Baby
got
bars.
The Baby.
Wait, is it Lil Baby or the Baby?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the Lil Baby.
They got bars. I don't know, man.
The one from Atlanta. The one from Atlanta got bars.
Yeah, Lil Baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way we put a little bars together.
What about Baby?
Now y'all record this. I can't even say it, man.
What about Baby King?
I haven't listened to him. Let me see. I'm gonna play him right now.
I'm not a big. I mean, he made cool sounding stuff, but he ain't really barring nothing. It's production. His visuals are crazy. But I don't. They be going crazy for him, but I don't be feeling like he don't be hitting for me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why his face look like this?
You just see his videos shot real cool though. His videos shot real cool.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're gonna get the muscle behind him. He Kendrick.
Yeah, he Kendrick people, so you're gonna get that. You know how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
And his videos be shot. He shoot his shit shot real movie-esque, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's really well shot.
Okay, now that's dope, then.
That song right there is a pretty good song, but he ain't giving you no bars, but it sounds cool though.
And who this?
This Baby King song called Hooligan.
Baby King.
I'm about to look him up.
Yeah, he Kendrick little cousin.
Real cousin and shit.
Yeah, he on the CD too. He on Kendrick CD.
What's the on beat?
Have y'all heard the Black Star album?
I didn't hear it. Did you listen to it?
I did, man, because you gotta subscribe to Luminary to that app.
Oh, I did. That's
it.
what it was. I did see that. Like they were doing their own little shit, wasn't they?
Yeah, I want to hear it, man.
I ain't trying to subscribe to shit though. Like
I know I got too many subscriptions already.
Yeah, already. I'm trying to get rid of shit. I don't even watch no TV. I got all these channels. I don't even watch TV. Wasting my fucking money.
But I feel
Wait,
them,
what
man.
was the last one you said? The Black Star?
Yeah, Black Star.
Yeah, they dropped that new
Most
CD.
Def and Kweli.
Oh, they came out something like
Most Def and Kweli.
Man, what the hell is up with that damn Yasin Bey and damn Most Manny Fresh?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be dropping some shit a while ago, man. What the fuck is up with that shit, man?
You know, Yasin, he came out with an album, but you can only hear it at the museum, the Brooklyn Museum.
Oh, the
Brooklyn Museum.
Nice. That's dope.
I went, man. It was dope. You basically you go to the room, you know, in the museum, and they give you headphones, and you listen to the album, and there's art that complements the album.
I went to the Tupac Museum in
dope.
LA. I went to the Tupac Museum in LA, and it was like headphones, like, and when you went up to certain shit, you like hit the shit on your the button on there, and it'll just play in your headphones and tell you about different shit, whatever, like part of his life and shit in the whole museum. But that museum is going around the country. It's going to be like in Atlanta. I think it's going to be in like New York too.
Okay. That's what's up. Like a little pop up or something like that. Yeah.
But it was a full ass museum. Like it was fire. It was a full blown museum. It was just like it was pretty sweet. Like I said, you use a headset, you hear everything by you. Like you can just listen at your own time. And there are a lot of different shit you can get, like you know, clothing and shit that they done trademarked and shit. And it was pretty sweet, though. It was pretty sweet.
You know, I'm surprised, man. Like, I think Tupac is my favorite artist in hip hop, and I feel like, I don't know, the respect for him is not there, man.
Well, but that's time, but like any way you look at it, like, because he was big. He was bigger to us. Like, you know, the younger you go, unless somebody was putting them on it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna know about that.
Yeah, man. Like, so Black culture, man, we don't worship. I don't want to say worship, but we don't respect our ancestors. Like
we don't preserve. Yeah,
we don't preserve our history. That just like they do old school hip hop artists.
Bro, you need captions anytime you talk, bro. If you're gonna be away from your mic.
Hey man, can you hear me now, Broski? Yeah.
And what kind of mic that is, man? That's one of them joints on Amazon.
It's a good mic. I just need to talk close to this shit now. But now, like, yeah, man, that's like our Achilles heel for the Black culture, dog. We don't fucking respect our damn ancestors, man. Like, we're not keeping our own culture alive, dog. Like, we're not reminding each other.
Well, I think the problem with that is rap is like the most, like, you know, like competitive thing. So it's always like, you know, I'm one upping somebody else. So like,
even with that's not a big deal.
It's kind of weird if you one up somebody all your career and expect nobody to try to one up you afterward. You feel me? So to me, in itself, it shouldn't be that though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a critical part of hip hop is the one up. It's not even. I don't think it's one up. It's just like you trying to take it further, or you
gotta be the flyest nigga.
You gotta be the flyest. You gotta be the best. You gotta take it that next
level.
So
that's what it's kind of. It's like when LeBron ain't the best no more, they gonna say he ain't the best no more, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm not arguing with that on that point. I'm just saying that like we're not really respecting the people who came before us, and we're not keeping their name alive.
I'm saying that's what
their name in the conversation and shit. Like people like Pac, niggas like that shouldn't be forgotten, dog. Like motherfuckers like that should be, you know, that should be, you know, required learning for younger people, dog. Because
how much music you think that older people say that we forgot?
I
don't forget that much. I still listen to like old school music and shit. Like,
I ain't saying you personally, but I'm talking about. I ain't saying you personally, right? Yeah. But from like your generation forward, right? How many people? How much they say? How much music that was lost the same way, right? You know what I'm saying? It's people who was. You don't think so? You don't think that it's
not for our generation? I don't feel like my generation is lost on the old school shit. I think the generation that came after us, like they don't really respect like the music that we listen to and the music.
Well, I think. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
you good? Go ahead, cuz.
I think time is moving faster though now than it was then. It's more music.
It is more.
It's
music.
more music.
More accessible.
You know, produced nowadays versus 70s, 80s, 90s.
You can sit on it longer. You can sit on it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Now you can sit on the tape for 3 months.
So even if there's more music produced, like the music that sticks, like the music that that has that long lasting impact, like that music is not being preserved enough or not being respected enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we're not putting enough attention or giving enough attention and respect.
What kind of attention would you give it though? Like I ain't trying to be funny. It's like
people like,
it's
like
still
you said,
making.
Pop, like we were talking about Pop,
make
like a nigga
$5
like
million a year off of Tupac catalog still. So that means it's still getting played. So
it's still getting played, but like it wasn't just the music with Pac though. Pac
who owns his catalog right now?
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Daz Dillinger made a lot of beats for him. So like he make millions a year off of that. Still, every
that's
year.
Crazy. And that's him.
He's been making that for 20 years, bro.
Right. I think it's a lack of taste in music. That's what I think. You know, people like what they like, and it's like, but I think a lot of people nowadays, they don't have a taste for high quality music.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah,
no, but every time Kendrick drop or every time J. Cole drop or every time, you know what I'm saying, that shit still shake the room.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you
I
think
mean,
about quality,
I feel like it's still space for that, but I feel like who really doing it to a level that's that. Like, I mean, because I think people get caught up in certain stuff like conscious rapper or these other things. Some of that shit is niche. Like, super lyrical is niche. Nobody want to sit around and listen to, like, battle rap all day. I'm a huge battle rap fan, but I understand, like, you're not riding around in your car listening to that shit or, like, going to a club to listen to that shit, right? So, like, I don't know. I feel like somewhere when you niche, I feel like when you get in these stuff turn to niche markets because of how much popular music can come out. So it kind of like it's a market for it, but the market is just like how somebody was saying how, and me touring, I know a lot of artists that people wouldn't know that was making a lot of money. They were living good off of and not even being known. Like even Tech Nine make like some of the most money per year as a rapper. And nobody don't even be knowing about it.
Right.
I just think it's so much popular music made, like how you were saying, it was so much, it's so much more music being made that it's always a new pop hit. It's always a new pop song. It's always another song. So like, yeah, I don't think people might not see all this stuff happening, but it's always a space for these artists. Just like there's always space for comedian to go on tour all the time. People still gonna see it. Like it's still there. I just don't think it's on TV or on the mainstream of stuff, but I still feel like it's getting a lot of plays. A lot of people still eating off of it, making a lot of money. Maybe not as much as they. I would think they. I would hope they could make more, but I mean, it's just like when we got music at first, rap at first, it was wild. Everybody like now that newest shit is a little wilder, a little different, but that's they shit and it's they time and they running it up.
I got pushed back on this Tupac thing, right? Well, I got a question, right? So, what do we supposed to remember, or what do we supposed to respect out of Tupac? Just a question, though.
Tupac,
what are we supposed to respect?
Tupac, when it was he was. I feel like he was bigger than his character. You know what I'm saying? So like, he was portrayed as a gangster rapper. But like whenever you watch one of his interviews, he would talk about social
intellectuals.
Yeah, you could tell he was like articulate. You could tell he was socially conscious, and that's what he spoke about. His music was just like it was just like a small part of his personality. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people focus.
And he just had a message, man.
He had a message, man.
Niggas ain't got no message no more, man.
That's that part right there, man.
But to bruh's point though, like, okay, he got a museum. I mean, I don't think nobody. I think he's held in high regard.
He's held in high regard, but like,
I just think everybody ain't.
Like
I mean, and also to take something else. I'm gonna take something else I noticed. Me mess with the younger people when I was 20 stuff, bro. A lot of them listen to music. They just don't judge it the same way. They don't compare it the way that older people do. It ain't always just about what's better. It's just about in this vibe I want to listen to this, and this vibe I want to listen to that. It ain't necessarily just, huh?
I said nothing wrong with that.
And I mean, and I seen that, like, cause I seen that they'll rock out to they'll fuck with Pac, they'll fuck with Biggie, but they ain't comparing that to Lil Uzi Vert. If they like the Lil Uzi Vert song, they like that for what it is. Right. They ain't comparing it to like Lil Uzi Vert better than Pac or whoever the hell it is. One of the newer artists. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that. Yeah. Everything they just enjoying it in the space that it is.
And that's what I'm concerned about too. Yeah. So it's a lot of that going on and shit. So like, because we actually had that ingredient at that time we had that energy, that fire when Pac was around. But like now, like who's carrying the torch for that type of energy? Like who can we name now that's like, you know, aside Kendrick Lamar, I say Kendrick Lamar,
yeah.
he's still kind of, you know, he has
Cole is in that pocket
Cole
too, I
he's
think.
in that pocket, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I'm just worried about like people carrying, you know, the torch, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like just like with not just the artists, but like with the you know, with like the social justice warriors that we had, you know, Malcolm X, you know, Martin Luther King, like people who carry that energy to the next generation, because there's always some resistance to like, you know, every effort to take our culture further. So like we want to make sure that, you know, we're still preserving that little kernel of energy, you know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that energy is being preserved to the next generation.
But see, I can see the pushback of why people don't respect Tupac too.
People like Dave Chappelle and shit, like who's still not afraid to talk about, you know, touchy topics and shit. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make sure that those little that energy is able to, you know, to carry on and shit, just not being extinguished. I don't know if that make any sense and shit, but yeah.
But all right, so I'm be honest, I can see why people push back on Tupac as well, of like why people don't care for him too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, especially now it's been in our culture to look at not only what you do in music, what you do on the outside, as y'all say, right?
Right.
The same man that will speak, you know what I'm saying, justice, be the same man that be speaking, you know what I'm saying, murder, death, kill, whatever, you know what I'm saying, some Demolition Man type stuff. You feel?
Crazy too, yeah. That's the reality.
And his actions, you know what I'm saying, and some men, you know what I'm saying, say he act like a female. I ain't going to flex.
You said Pop? Oh, you just talking about people in general and shit.
People was talking about Pop, you know what I'm saying? Like me being in the Midwest, I seen both sides, you know what I'm saying? Like people love them, people hate them, right?
Mm.
And both sides had some good points. And you know, with us, us hip hop, we want you to be one way, right?
Mm.
Flip floppy, they look at it like, okay, you just putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? If you're going both ways. So I can see the pushback of why people think like he probably like irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Or what did he really change? You know what I'm saying? He just merely had fans in some people's eyes. It's a lot of talented rappers, you know?
I also think a lot of people take too much into it. But when people rapping, like, first of all, people gotta rap is an art, man. The same way, like, okay, so people do bad shit, they do good shit. So then when I made music, bro, I rapped about the bad shit I did, I rapped about good shit too. You know, like everybody try to hold it to like you can't speak on this other stuff. Only thing I have a problem with is just over grammarization of stuff. And like it's just one way the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But you speak on the things that you do are either the things you around. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the thing about Pac is he didn't have a chance to grow up. I mean, he died at what, 26 or 24?
That's crazy as shit.
25.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a chance to fuck. He was a young man. That shit
so yeah, but on that, I still feel like for what he did in that time frame, he did get a lot of love. And he did get a lot. I mean, he got a museum. I just told you I went to the museum with him this year in LA.
Yeah, I mean, like what, 20 years
got
later?
A lot of love. But how much more can you do? He didn't have no more that he got to do. You know,
imagine
that's
a 40-year-old Tupac though. Like, what a 40-year-old.
But that's where you got to own your own actions and what you do as well, though. Yeah. Right? He could have played a role in him being around when he was 40 years old. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So like, I understand people feel like he didn't get all his just due, but he also played a part in not getting all his just due. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you still got pushback. I got pushback. I got something for y'all. Just play devil's advocate, right?
Right.
So to be something that, you know what I'm saying, that everybody should recognize in hip hop, right? We would say you have to make some type of change or some type of deep impact. And if so, what is that? What deep impact did he make? What change did he make?
I mean,
so
ahead, many.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a ton of artists inspired by Tupac. I mean, a lot of artists that are revered today, a lot of them are derivative in some way of Tupac. From Kendrick, Cole, like you ask them who their favorite artists are, it's Tupac. Kendrick, Cole, Nas, you know, just right, you know,
within that, right? That they favorite artist, right? But what's the reason behind it, right? Why is your favorite artist? Because all of us, I'm gonna be honest, I got my favorite artists too, right? But they still ain't up there how people rank Tupac, right? So I still pose the question in a sense, like in specifics, like what for what reason is he should be held at a higher standard than most when it comes to like hip hop culture, right? I would say, my opinion, he was the first like real radical one doing stuff in front of like cameras, off cameras, you know what I'm saying? That brought a lot of attention, which a lot of people do right now. You know what I'm saying? But but what I call it noteworthy, I say it made us look bad more than anything.
Well, Tupac was the first vulnerable rapper. I won't say the first, but he's the most significant to be vulnerable to have emotions, to speak about your personal life. You know, before Tupac, who was doing that? Maybe Scarface, you know, but to talk specifically about your own life and your own struggles, that's in Eminem, that's in Kendrick, that's in so many artists. That's Tupac, and they will tell you that, these artists.
To be a gangster rapper and but still, you know, be able to expose.
I think he did it in a certain type of way. Yeah. I think he did it in a certain
in the way.
Yeah. I would think before him. Yeah. Oh, go. Matter of fact, go ahead. No, go with your spiel. Go with your spiel.
I was just gonna say, I was just gonna say he. The thing also about you say about how people affect like what they did to change or do things. Well, the people gonna tell you that like he affected a huge amount of people. I don't think. I mean, he up there with he mentioned with Bob Marley. He mentioned with
Bob
the
Marley,
biggest of the artists.
Bob Marley, oh shit, yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
In the same. So I mean, I feel like if he had reached even just the age, maybe another 10 years, maybe whatever, you don't know what he could have been. And that's the thing about it is that you don't know what he could have been. But the effect was he was already affected. The same way that Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle got.
Fuck yeah, shit like that.
Go into, you know what I'm saying? He had the effect he was going to have if he stayed around.
Right.
You know that's a whole different conversation about people not being able to stay around in our community. That's another conversation. But that's still what it is. Like, so you can tell, like, even if somebody didn't reach that thing that would have been the whole change, it's like, damn, they were going. You could that was going to happen. Like it was going to go that way. Maybe it didn't. But I mean, we never got to see the potential, man. That's the baddest part is you don't know that you never got to see that potential either come to fruition or know that it got cut short. It didn't even get to play out. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, the reason that somebody has an effect is everybody was fucking with it. Like people feel that.
I got you. Right?
Everybody don't have that same connection to people that do, right? Yeah.
Right. I'm now. If I'm being honest on my opinion with Tupac, I say he was overrated. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
overrated lyrically or just socially or as a personality. Overrated what?
Good question, right? I would say, in a sense, I want to say in totality off of. I can say lyrically. I can say that even the image. I can even say everything about the man, and this is why I think that, right? Before him, it was nothing outside of New York that would be played. We all could agree on that, right? There's been so many stories about that, right? So when Tupac did it, even though he's from New York, he was the best thing really smoking, you know what I'm saying, for Cali, right? The best thing smoking. Everybody else was like mediocre, right? But they was getting smashed by New York. So Tupac coming in a poetic form, you know what I'm saying? Because some people they say his skills came from like, art and all this other stuff, right? So, but to be honest, like he was good, but I think it got pushed up more and more because he wasn't a rapper like repping New York. And I know it's some truth to that. I know y'all could probably agree with
but did he come through though, right? He came through though. Like when you got to get pushed up there, he still got to come through. He came through though, right? Like he hit when it was time to hit. Everybody can't do that when they get in those positions, right? So he did hit.
I would argue it ain't that hard to come through if everybody tired of me. Like me being in Chicago, right? New York rap didn't get no play in Chicago. We was tired of hearing it. We was thirsty for someone else. It could have been anybody. It could have been Young Thug. I ain't lying.
But it still happened though. We can't knock it after it. You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying, 100%.
Right.
But it happened though, right?
Yeah, for sure, it happened.
Yeah. So we can't. I don't feel like we can just knock that or not act like that. It still happened. He still was able to come through. And then the thing is like, first of all, I'm gonna say this. I also believe he ain't the best lyricist. I think he's one of the first artists that really was big because of his everything. Everything was beside the lyricism. Then, like you know what I'm saying, his voice, his inflection, the way he made you feel what he was saying. He wasn't out rapping Biggie or nothing. It's that you felt.
He was
albeit if it
was
facts.
Albeit if it was real or it wasn't, you felt like it was real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he had so much music after he passed that like, wow, he was going. This is shit that could have been. Some of this could have been throwaways. This could have been B-sides. This could have been something that wasn't used. But so imagine it. Still able to process and keep going and going and going and going, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like Biggie who had a masterpiece, but he really had no whole catalog after he passed to really go out and drop. So, like, you know, at least you still can say that, okay, he hit, and he had more songs that could have hit too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he really was coming through, falling short on it. So, I can't, like, now, if you want to talk about his personal, what he really was doing, now that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because but that's not what. Most rappers ain't really doing what they say they was doing. Like, if you want to hold that to anybody, then I mean,
I got you, right? So when we speak on artists, like as a whole nation, as a whole world, right? When we speak on just any artist, rap, country, singing, R&B, whatever the case is, right? What do they actually speak on? Are they talking about the lyrics, the characteristics, or whatever? What do they actually speak on, right?
But somebody. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring up Marley. I'm gonna be honest. I think what I think, right? I'm gonna be honest. I don't really study Marley like that. I think he's okay, but I think it was more so like where he came from. I could say one of the first to do it, but that's to my knowledge. I think he was the biggest from his area per se, and to come.
Now he was very political. He was very political.
Okay.
He talked about a lot of
social,
he talked about a lot of social issues. Yeah. He was very big on all that. So like he really, he did that for real. He really was doing it, and that's why I like to talk to him more because Pac was doing more and more, talking about social justice issues, political issues in the hood, things, issues with Black people, families, underage, women having kids, all these. He was really talking about a lot of issues in the Black community, though. You know what I'm saying? He was.
So now this is why I had a problem with it, and stuff, like because all the information, right, with internet nowadays. This is why I really got a problem with Tupac, and I had a problem with it back in the day. So me growing up in Chicago, being around, the Nation of Islam, being around some real Black Panthers, being around all that stuff, whatever the case is, some of the stuff they used to say, I knew was false, but everybody else was eating it up.
Stuff like what?
Like what?
His interviews and all this stuff. So he used to speak on like I'm be honest. Brenda had a baby that did more harm to us, vice versa helped us. People touched off of false rhetoric, right? You know what I'm saying? This is a dude, you know what I'm saying? He took his personal life, right? And then after that, you know what I'm saying? They made it to a song, whatever the case is. His personal experience is anecdotal. But then after that, when he started, getting interviews about that, he spoke on it. And he's saying, like, as overall, the Black neighborhood, what we're going through. And it was a false rhetoric. With the information that we even have right now, what really was going on, you know what I'm saying? It was pushing all this women rights and all this other stuff, documented, right? It was a war on drugs and all that stuff. However, under the umbrella, some people could argue all this stuff was, you know what I'm saying, just like using the main one as the woman movement.
Well,
and all this stuff, right?
All right, the answer on that, right?
Go ahead.
He
was misled. He was misled, my opinion. Misled.
I say that, okay, first of all, people give somebody a star musician, whatever, it don't mean we automatically speak to them about shit and polarize what they saying about shit in the first place. That happens too much. These people a lot of times are just paid because they do a job that most people, the majority of the population, can't do. So they earn a higher salary, but they don't mean you should listen to everything they saying. Now that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing about glorifying somebody because they have some money type shit. That don't really go ahead.
But would you stand behind that though? A person, you know what I'm saying, that's putting out, I'll be honest, false rhetoric that even affects you as even the person that you are right now, which is a black man.
But when he wrote that story, was that something that he could have known of that could have happened for real? You know what I'm saying?
It did happen. That was a true story.
It did happen. No, it did happen.
If he speak on, a lot of people speak about stuff. A lot of people, when you talk to people about world issues, they only a lot of times can resort back to what they know about their life experience. Right? I had a friend who talked to me about, he has some family members who say they crazy, get checks and get food stamps. He think it's wrong that they're doing that, right? And he think they should get rid of, certain stuff for people, like benefits like food stamps and things like this. I said, well, I don't care if you know 100 people, bro. That's not 1% of the people who using it. Like, you have to understand it's more than just your life experience. So yeah, he could have spoke on it, but his life experience could have shaped them, and everybody can't look outside of their own life experiences to realize that it's a bigger world. And just because of what I've seen, they don't mean that's what majority of the world sees. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So within that, you know what I'm saying? This is my pushback on that, right? That's like I would still say that's the minority of the problem. That's the minority of the problem, right? So that's like me saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm the only nigga, you know what I'm saying? I guess, that my earlobe hurt, right? I make a great song about my earlobe hurt, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, everybody touched by shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I made a beautiful song about my earlobe hurting. But it's like, what the fuck? All right, but does that make me up there with some of the greats? Because I talked about something that only happens to me and maybe a few.
Well, not
that's why I have my
so
pushback.
What put anybody into with the great? What's the criteria to get in with the great?
You know what I'm saying? I will say a positive impact. I would argue that he had more of a negative impact.
How?
So you don't think? Wait. Besides,
I got you.
Wait. Before we get to that point, though, you said there's no grace to have had a negative impact, though.
You said no grace to have a negative impact.
They had a negative impact.
Great rappers.
Great, not rapper.
Great artists, people.
You don't think none of them have been bad people? Great.
Are you saying Grace? GRACE?
You said the greats. You said like the greats.
Okay.
I said GREATS. Yeah. So I'm saying, it's other greats that weren't good people, right? R. Kelly was a great, right? I think before, basically he really was a great, right? He had a shitload of hits spanning over a long period of time. But when do you cross over to great? What's the criteria? It's like the LeBron and Jordan conversation. What crossed you to great? What's the criteria? What's the path that we have to follow to say this person crossed the greats? Because I don't know there is a path.
Okay, okay, I got you. So from what I'm hearing, like overall from even like different like from everybody, right? It's typically how someone positively impact you, right? That's what they generally try to say, right?
Yeah.
How they positively impact you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think no one's speaking on like, you know what I'm saying? Like he great about how negative he impacted you.
No, I don't think people do that. I think it's just how good some shit was. Like, how good was it? How much it sold? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, if you want to talk about, the difference is, because, the thing is, only mostly black people have to have a positive thing attached to their music, right? Some white people can choose to do that, and some artists can choose to do some positive stuff, but they don't typically have to go out and have that. They don't have to have that attached to them. See, it's like, if you're going to do music, as a black person, you have to speak on social injustice. You have to, if you just talk about whatever, then it's like you're not helping the cause. You're hurting it type of thing. So it's like you're forced to be able to speak on these things, and everybody don't have those tools to speak on those things. I don't really think that makes something great or not. Like Drake ain't talking about that shit, but is Drake a great?
Drake is a great.
I mean, by all measurable things, he is a great. By all measurable aspects, he's a great. You know
who's by all great? I mean, by all measurable aspects of great. Who is
Drake? Drake.
Yeah. So when we ask people all the time, right? Like, give me your top 10, top 5, and then we ask the following question is, what was your criteria of picking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your criteria? So
I mean,
I could break down
to that
Tupac.
To that part of the question of being a great is that's not even debatable. It's just like, how skilled are you at your craft? You know what I'm saying? That will qualify you as a great. Like somebody like who wasn't super socially conscious but still super skilled at their craft, like you said, was R. Kelly or somebody like that. But he wasn't really talking about social issues, but he's still considered a great because he was
he made great music.
He made great music, which everybody loved. You know what I'm saying? But
over different genres and different over decades.
Right.
So I mean, that's why it's just like that's why I say, okay, when you talk about just being great, first of all, this is not like basketball or sport where if we all go out to the court and whoever the best gonna stand out.
Right.
Well,
yeah. So the argument I was making was I wasn't just talking about greats in general. I was
that's false though.
I was trying to tie in the greats of our culture and how they further us, and like while we're there's like a disconnect between like the younger generation and the older generation. You know what I'm saying? So like usually I
can't lie.
Go ahead. What?
I can't with the younger generation, what they point out so much. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff, even though it's kind of hypocritical. But me, bro, I can't celebrate Tupac. Honestly.
You can't even celebrate his energy or what he brought to the table. That
like
some of his music is questionable. Like if you listen to his catalog, like everything won't be all all.
Well, the question is, who you celebrate?
Like, some of it is just straight gangster ignorance. You know what I'm saying? But like,
now let me be honest, right?
Recognize he did have an energy that he brought to the table as far as rebelling against the establishment or rebelling against police brutality or trying to unite. There was a culture of being thugs, but he was saying that he gave a definition of thugs. You know what I'm saying, about people who came up and this.
But it's BS though.
Situation. It's not BS. It's real shit. People are still like just like right now how you had the gang culture and you have drill music and all that shit. Like that's actually a culture that people are rallying behind. So you have a whole bunch of young people, who they're joining gangs and they're fucking being super violent, super aggressive. Like that's actually a culture that's going on now that people are rallying behind, and it's cool to do it. And it's exploitative, you know what I'm saying, of young minds, like people who not fully mentally developed, the people who don't have, parents in the home who could guide them in a more positive direction. Like you have to have that alternative. You have to have that alternative message or that alternative source of a direction. I feel like that's missing. It's like a lot of that. It's just not there. Or if it's there, it's lacking. It's not a lot of Tupac energy right now in the music. I feel like, you know what I'm saying.
So, with everything, you know what I'm saying, I was raised around and brought up around. I would still say with everything that you said that was so great about him, I would still say he was false on that. It's a lot of negative, you know what I'm saying, we put him on gangs. I'm actually involved in the game, right? Actually involved, man, because this coming from Chicago, right?
Right.
And most men there, they would tell you, you know what I'm saying, what y'all see and what they keep on saying was gang activity. That was the news manipulating, you know what I'm saying, what's really going on. Most of our gangs and all that stuff that people rep around the whole United States, even Crips and Bloods, came from Chicago gangs. I got history up on that in facts. It came all the stuff. Yeah, all that stuff derived from, you know what I'm saying, the Black Panther movement, right? Which we all agree, which was a positive movement, right?
Tupac was a descendant of Black Panthers.
Right. His mom.
His aunt.
Yeah, his mom.
His mom and his father and his godfather. Like he's deeply in.
Well, Tupac Black was a father in his house. My father even said that he'd tell because he acted like a female so much.
He was
he was emotional, I think, but I don't know. I think that's also a myth. Emotional ain't necessarily that's weird.
That's not a sign of weakness,
right?
Yeah, because I mean, bro, like, just as an artist, bro, that's a lot of people have that. You know what I'm saying? That's just
That's
it's
part of
just how
music.
you present it.
Yeah.
That's how you present it though, because some people gonna present
Yeah.
it more yelling, some people gonna present it a way where it seems more manly or whatever, but that ain't really in itself to me a manly or feminine a male trait, like dominant or feminine trait. It's more of just a way, a type of expression. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
sir. Amongst men. Like, and I'm a barber too, by the way. Right in the shop, amongst men, the dude coming in there. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Why is it a term that we would say, "Oh man, you acting like a female"? If with your rhetoric, it should be no term.
That ain't what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm saying. Acting like a female and being emotional is not the same thing. But that's what it seems like you're equating
In
it
who
to.
eyes? But in who eyes though?
Well,
Most
everybody acts
men.
different anyway.
This could also be looked
But
at in the context too. Like, I mean,
The context of
go
what
ahead.
you're doing. Because I
like,
could be emotional
yeah.
and not be. I could be emotional or say my feelings in an emotional way. I could yell at you, and that's being emotional. But it don't have to be feminine either.
You are correct. However, right? Let's go specific. We're talking about Tupac, right? And like I knew you was talking about the music, and I get with music, the best music come out is the emotion. But they was depicting this guy or tearing him off on his interviews too, moving his wrists and all this other stuff, more like females and all this other stuff. Y'all
His early
cannot
interviews, he
deny
did look a
that.
little suspect.
Well,
Man.
that's
Like
Exactly.
yeah.
You
but that's
cannot
but see,
deny that.
Even that is like that's irrelevant. I
I'm
feel
gonna
like.
tell you something. I'm gonna tell you
How
something.
much?
To me personally,
How so irrelevant though? Right? Because
I'm
if
gonna
he's
tell
a
you something.
role model, right, in this world, and nothing matters, even amongst men, men, we still run this world regardless of what anybody ever saying, right? Amongst men, right? Black men, white men, Asian men, and all this other stuff. You move a specific type of way. It is certain standards that people trying to say, don't exist. No, it does exist.
No.
And we do frown upon dudes moving a certain type of way. And the way Tupac was moving in certain these interviews, y'all are actually operating blind. If y'all would say that most men in this world would say Tupac has some feminine stuff in him, and with that being a role model,
That was
with that
early
being a role model,
so
right?
you got
I'm gonna tell you.
contextualize that shit.
Right?
So his early interviews, he was like, you gotta understand he was raised by his mom, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's he grew up around feminine energy.
That's no excuse. Am I correct?
It's not an excuse, but it's
it's
an explanation. But like
excuse, though.
as he progressed through his life, you know what I'm saying, that he became a man, through his experiences in life. You can see like his anger kind of changed him, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what really turned a lot of people off to Tupac. It was his anger after he got robbed at the Quiet Studios and shit. It was like that's
if he had a guidance.
Yeah, if he would have had the guidance
of it, man.
He had the guidance. I feel like he had guidance, but like nobody really channeled that anger. And then he got exploited by Suge Knight, you know what I'm saying? So like once he got the Death Row Records and they they took his anger and channeled that shit. That's why a lot of his music had that negative that energy to it with the gangsterism and shit. Like if you listen to his first album, who was his first shit? Running and Brenda's Had the Baby. Everything on that shit was like socially conscious. And then once he did like Tupacalypse and fucking what was the other one? Damn. Like pretty much everything after that.
I'm not hip on everything on him. I ain't going to stop.
Everything after that was like pretty much just me against the world.
I just don't understand.
He was just angry at the world and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what.
How many niggas came out he fucked? How many niggas that said he was fucking with? How many? I don't understand why. One thing I don't understand is like
what.
How niggas, like a lot of time I feel like men be a little too worried about what another man be doing. And I ain't trying to be rude on it. I'm just saying like
no, you good, bro.
For real,
you
like
good.
so like I don't really concern myself if a nigga move a look. Like you know what I'm saying? That don't bother like that shit don't involve like if a nigga ain't over here with no nigga around me, bro. If that's some demon in his cause over in the cut that it'll come out to me. I don't really waste my energy sitting around saying like that nigga like he did that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just don't seem like a constructive energy for me to utilize worrying about if another nigga over here. If I know what I'm over here doing, I don't see if a nigga ain't in my face being gay and trying to act and then portraying it a different way. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a nigga, like I know a nigga who a singer who people could say he move a little, he could be a little. I don't see a nigga fuck 1,000 bitches too. I ain't never seen him be gay.
Gotcha.
So then I'm just like, so what do I even care though? Like that's in passing. Because honestly, I don't give a damn because that don't really, like, as long as a nigga ain't false, if a nigga ain't directly, like if a nigga ain't in front of me being what he's saying, he's doing exactly opposite of what he's saying, I'm gonna go over here and rap this or do this or portray this in the cameras or whatever, and then I'm over here doing a completely different thing. That's when they take an issue with it. But I can't guesstimate if you doing something for, that's you in your closet doing whatever the fuck you. Now, like, if something come out, then that's what it is. But it's be too much like thinking about what a nigga possibly could be doing. That's just too much of a, that's too far of a bridge for me to cross to be worried about if a nigga possibly could be, you know what I'm saying? That's too much.
Okay.
It just seems like a waste of constructive energy. Now, I can see you acting on sense. Like, again, if somebody was actively saying, I'm going to portray this in front of the camera and when I come back around, y'all, it's completely not that. That'll be more of an issue with me because that's real, that's tangible. Sitting around and thinking about it, go ahead.
So, like, I got you, right? And that was a good way to, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, to put it. However, this is the facts though, right? We ain't talking about average Joe down the street. We talking about idols that influence. Idols that influence. And it hits it, like, look, I'm gonna take it home. It's gonna hit home like Jerome. When they start impacting your kids, bro. I get, like, maybe you like I don't know if you care or not, but for me and most men, right? You might as well say skip it, right? You don't care.
No. That's what I'm saying. What part of it? So you saying because in his interviews, if he moving his hands a certain way, that's gonna affect the kids. But him being in the video with the bitches butt ass naked, is that showing him that that's what he doing though? Or is it just the hand motion is enough to affect the kids, but the butt naked bitches ain't enough to affect the kids?
Like, I don't know. All of that. No. I'm saying all of that. I'm not taking away from none of that. Well, me personally, I'm not taking away from none of that.
But what is it portraying? But then what is it portraying? So that's what I'm saying though.
Go ahead.
The hand movement portraying gay shit, but then the bitches here portraying the philanderer lifestyle or whatever you call it. I guess that could be seen bad and good according to how people's perspective is. But what is it really? So I don't understand, like that picture of the bitches naked and him riding this and doing all this type of shit seemed way more effective than somebody hand moving around in the video. Like they also, I don't know.
I got you.
I gotta see this hand, man. I'm telling you, I gotta see this hand.
They broke it down like hundreds of times.
I kept me on my bone.
I ain't never seen these hands, man.
I had full proof of hoes pissing on hoes, young hoes giving them pee-pee. And they gonna assassinate my character.
I got you, bro.
You bring that lyric, bro.
This nigga saying Tupac gay. What's happening, dog? Tupac ain't gay, dog.
I don't know. Tripping, he could be gay. I don't know. I ain't watching. I ain't looking enough.
So this is why it matters, right? And this is why possibly, you know what I'm saying, y'all probably feel like it don't matter right now, right? Because all of us are affected by how long this stuff been going on with our age. I don't think nobody is over 60 in this on this panel right now, right? Nobody's over 60. So if you're younger than 60, all of y'all been affected by, you know what I'm saying, with your views and everything, whatever the case is, right? You know what I'm saying? And after that, it's up to you as you get older. Matter of fact, I would even say as a teenager, or what you go to seek, you know what I'm saying, to learn and study, right? And hopefully you got the, you know what I'm saying, like the intelligence to actually, you know what I'm saying, actually bear through all this stuff to actually find out the correct way. It's why you think it was a such thing as proper etiquette, right? Classes that was back available back in the day, right? For a certain way. Why? For the benefit of how to move up in this world. Why? Why do we even have the Bible? Why do we even have the Quran? Why do we have religious books? Because it's instructions and guidance, right? So all this, this notion off of, you know what I'm saying, we just, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, you shouldn't, that shouldn't matter. This shouldn't matter. All of that stuff does matter, right? Yeah. You can't pick and choose, right?
I think,
you know what I'm saying? So when you talking about amongst men,
I feel like we changing conversations though.
No. I'm bringing it back. I ain't gonna shoot too far off. I'm bringing it right back, right? So why does it matter, right? The way that he moving, right? Well, when you got your son out here, you know what I'm saying, betrayed as a certain way, like the sagging pants, y'all already know what they talking about with that, right? that was gay shit in prison, right? So why is your daddy or your granddaddy telling you stop sagging your fucking pants like a fag? Okay, excuse me, stop twisting your wrist like a fag. Why is they saying this shit? But us right now, we want to say, I don't know why people concerned about it. First of all, you don't even take that much of a thought pattern to say that, like, yo, you moving like a female. If that exhausts a person mind, I ain't like, we got a bigger thing to attack at that point. Bro, that's a split second to know, like, yeah, bro, you operate like a female. We got girls here for that.
And because of an interview, you could tell somebody to operate like a female. I'm just trying to understand where y'all get to the point of that level. What is level of that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. You don't know what a man look like?
I ain't trying. That ain't what I'm saying, bro. I know what that.
Being disingenuous.
I'm trying to see. I'm not being disingenuous. I'm trying to understand your level of thought.
Okay.
Because what I'm saying is, I don't see, like, what did y'all see enough to say this, right? Because I don't see that. I didn't see that. And I mean, I know when somebody, I feel like, somebody flamboyant or somebody, they could be gay. Everybody know when somebody see that. I don't know what y'all saw to say that it was this. I mean, I seen an interview when he was a kid, and at that art school where he sounded a little soft or whatever when he was a child. But I ain't seen that. I don't know why I seen where he was a man that was doing some shit like, or something that would be considered like what y'all saying, where it's like he moving like a female.
Yeah.
So
that's why I don't understand.
I think it was just because he was being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, he sounded a little soft, and I think that's kind of unfair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For him
just being vulnerable. Okay, that's what it. Okay.
But
is that what he's talking about?
Because you saw his earlier interview when I think he was like he was at a school of performing arts or something like that.
Yeah, he was like 17.
He was like 17.
He was 17.
Yeah. And he was smiling and shit.
That's one of them.
Like a little tender, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I don't. When I seen that interview, I was like, hey, he look a little tender, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but I know niggas who was like, who act is soft in middle school and elementary school who don't act that way as adults as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think it don't.
Did you see that in Tupac when he was an adult though? Like, was he acting like that when he was an adult? Like,
yeah, he was. Every interview. And now he performed on stage. Every interview.
I never seen that.
Man,
I missed that part.
I mean, wait.
I gotta look back.
Not on the level. Not on the level of. Actually, I'm not. I remember that one y'all talking about when he was young, but not really. In one in particular, I think he was either in jail or just got out of jail. Something like that. He was an adult by then. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all don't see the thing.
Can you link me something?
I'm more concerned with any music artist that's pushing murder in their music. That concerns me more than.
That's how drill music is, you know what I'm saying?
That's Tupac as well, right?
I mean, Tupac.
Yes.
If he wrote songs, if Tupac wrote those songs, they were stories to articulate a point. I don't hear this with some of the murder music.
Yeah.
Hail Mary.
I think there's a
that was straight anger. That's what I meant by like he got corrupted and they channeled his anger into a destructive a destructive form.
Right.
Like even like you could see how mad he was. It just got too personal. Like him and Biggie and all that shit. It just got too personal at that point where it was just vulgar.
So so we talking about Tupac in totality. We can't.
Tupac in totality.
You can't take it away, bro.
No. So that was just Tupac in the music. Because even then, you can still see interviews of him saying that, when they were trying to hype up the East Coast West Coast beef, he was saying it's not the East Coast West Coast beef, it's me and Big. Like he tried to give you the reality, like, hey, this is like some real street shit that happened. I'm mad about it. And, we gotta clear this shit up. It wasn't about my whole coast versus your whole coast. What they tried what the media tried to portray it as, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, as a icon, as what you describe him as, like, he still tried to bring it down to reality as opposed to blowing it up.
Yeah, so, I mean, he wasn't making music about murder for fun or harming someone. If like a Hail Mary song, that's a response to something that happened to him.
It was like, hey,
but does that really matter?
It does matter.
Yeah.
To what extent?
Bring context.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, like it's a difference between telling your story and glorifying, the violence and the chaos.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made Tupac great because he was good at telling his story. And that
Hail Mary was not a
separates him
story.
from the people today that just like
Hail Mary was a story. It was real life. That was about. It's his anger. That is his anger personified.
So even with his beef, right? And back in the day, we had telephones too. You know what I'm saying? We weren't sending letters in the mail for real to get in contact with somebody. Right. Well, we was, but you know what I mean. He couldn't reach out to that man. He did. He chose the route to make a song about death, right?
He was exploited. They exploited him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't take that away from him, just like R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not justifying that man.
Right.
He made some good music, but when you put him up there with others that you consider great, right? That means you saying he's equal to a person that didn't have these flaws.
All right, but listen, who was the great that you put up there?
Yeah,
who was the great that you put up there who has no flaws? Or don't have good flaws alone?
Because I'm answering on the point. I believe I heard y'all say like for the culture, right? Or is it hip hop?
Both.
For the culture, it's a broader. Okay. So for the culture, we idolize Martin Luther King, right?
Mm-hmm. Even Martin Luther King, he had flaws. Right? I'm gonna touch on Martin Luther King because I love MLK too.
Oh, I can go there too. Yeah.
They taught this shit image too. You know what I'm saying? They had him with the with the adultery and the polyamory. But like, does that
I actually don't celebrate
still way too separate?
But does that overshadow his contributions to the cause?
Jobs, man. Those way too separate jobs. Entertainment and that is not the same.
No, you said jobs.
Yeah, let's talk about. You talking about music?
You talking about?
But y'all just
I'm just saying
because you can't. As an impact in the, the culture though. Tupac, y'all did say that. We all speaking on his
not with us, but you gonna compare him to a civil rights activist though?
You got
y'all was.
I put him in there. I put him in there.
Those y'all points. Those y'all points.
I mean,
I'm not tripping.
I can see a connection though.
Because y'all tried to use that to, to make them look good. If that's y'all points, I can rip that apart.
Yeah, I can see I can see that connection.
Because Tupac
what rapper was
ideology to his music too as well.
No, that's fine.
I heard three people talk.
So I give you MLK. What's another one? Give me, because I want to see how many we can get before we start know that. So we start, because if you say Malcolm X, he had a whole bunch of stuff he was doing beforehand. So we could kind of X that off. What other ones we could call out that could stand up and be put in the greats that don't have some type of salacious stuff going on?
That doesn't have
who don't have salacious stuff going on. Yeah.
Now, for me, I'm be honest. Now that comes to me, I almost want to say, I don't know anyone. When you talking about because I think overall at the beginning, y'all said just one of the greats, right? Well, what do you call great? That's opinionated.
Yeah, I understand. So that's why I'm trying to see what greats. I don't think some greats.
I don't think it is a great. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
that's scary to me, Dad. You know what I'm saying? That's scary
but so I know it is scary. I ain't going to flex to you. It is, man. Because why I say it ain't no great, like bro, like for real, you need someone, you know what I'm saying, to actually, not have these flaws, because you can rip it apart. Like a person like myself. I'm not the only one like myself, right? Like it's a lot of y'all that think like y'all, right? But I'm not the only one that think like this, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm trying to get my kid hey, this is what you should look up to. Nowadays, these kids, that's what we're talking about. These kids don't have respect, right? They got so much information in their face, they can pull this stuff up. Like, wait, why should I idolize this person? This person did that. You can't run away from that fact that they brought to you. So what is your rebuttal? I'm safe to say, okay, well, why don't you be better than them then? That's my response to the youth. But we see it on this old, stuff like, let's be real, back in the day, you only seen as much as people kind of showed you for real. And even if they tried to show you, it wasn't guaranteed it was going to get out. Nowadays, man, like real talk, so many cameras everywhere, you already know, everybody vulnerable, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got to walk right. But what's wrong with walking right, bro?
Yeah, but that's the crazy part. So nobody's perfect, you know what I'm saying? So when imperfect people do like great things, or when little people do great things, I feel like you got to celebrate the great that they contributed. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, nobody's going to be a great. Because like, if I'm coming up and I made my mistakes in my life, but I overcame that, but I do great things. Like, why don't you celebrate the great things about what I did and carry that portion on?
Yeah.
Don't dwell on the ugly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could acknowledge the ugly and say, hey, this is why, this is what made him imperfect. But he overcame that and he did this. You know what I'm saying? So like, when the next person comes up and they look at their, they're inspecting their own life and they're saying, oh, I can't do great things because I'm trash, or I've done such and such and such. Like, how can I do great things? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to tie that into like, hey, Tupac was a fucking, he was accused of a killer, or not killer, but he was accused of attacking police officers, spitting on police officers. He was accused of rape. You know what I'm saying? But like,
bro, Ali, where's you going, boy?
But no, but I'm saying that's why
he overcame a lot of that, and he was able to produce, quality, timeless music, movies. He was an actor at one point. He was still, advocating a lot of social injustice issues. You know what I'm saying? And let's celebrate that portion of it. Martin Luther King, like, they tarnished his image and shit. He was, they got not video, but audio recordings of him, having orgies or whatever the case may be. But like, do you, disregard him, marching and getting beat on by, police officers and putting his own life and his family's life in danger, to advance, the black.
That's an unfortunate choice that he made. I got you on that. Unfortunate choice that he made. Straight up. He didn't have to walk across that bridge and get beat up. None of those folks. And we still could have went a certain way. Some people argue we should have never put the schools together and all that stuff. And I agree with them. A lot of the stuff he did was false. This man was bamboozled with all his rhetoric. Everybody wasn't following Martin Luther King. It's us that celebrate him after the fact. Everybody ain't, celebrate Malcolm X. It's people that celebrate him after the fact. And matter of fact, if you ask me, Malcolm X, I'll take his path any day because we wouldn't still be in the position that we're in right now. Some people make it, but is the whole totality. Which one y'all want? But I already see the answer right here. What's going on in this world? We satisfied with, hey, my family can make it. Okay, cool. But why these Asians are making it? But why these white folks are making it? But why these other cultures are making it? But with us, it comes with Jay-Z, Kendrick, individuals. See, I mean, and that's the problem.
I mean, we are making it though. Like we doing pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we ain't as bad as people portray it.
We're not as bad as people portray. You know what I'm saying? We're doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Especially
but with
what we were given.
Y'all idolizing these folks.
Yeah,
but y'all idolizing garbage.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that's why I came with the premise off of, you know what I'm saying? If we gonna say great or whatever the case is, I would say base it off the measurement of what they influence. What did Tupac influence?
What do you mean?
Anybody answer that? What did he influence?
He influenced young people to to rebel. He kind of encouraged that rebellious nature. To rebel
against what?
The establishment, rebel against police brutality, rebel against, and even not just his direct rebellious nature, but like just learning lessons from his life. So like if you look at his music contract and how he was being exploited by Death Row, like he never really got.
Yes.
Like right now, artists you can negotiate for certain compensation and what's that word I'm looking for? Your publishing rights and stuff like that. Like shit, like they would just give him a couple $100,000 or give him a car. You know what I'm saying? But he was really entitled to a whole lot more than that because they had his publishing. But like you can look at him and say, hey, I'm not going to go down that same route. I'm not going to go do a 360 deal. You know what I'm saying? To get raped by my fucking record company. You know what I'm saying? It's just
he didn't influence that though. I can't give him that credit.
I mean, he didn't influence that, but you could look at that story and take that, get that takeaway from that. So that's not like a direct influence, but it's just something that you could look at and say, hey, we don't have to go back that same route. But he was, I mean, his whole life was.
I mean, it's a lot of things he influenced.
Thug life, like.
I mean, something very practical that he influenced. He made the point that you need to pay attention to other regions of hip hop. that's a very practical thing that he brought to the table. People, it was basically centered around New York and East Coast hip hop. They were the only ones that were getting praise. Tupac said, respect what these other regions are contributing to hip hop. The West Coast. He made that a point.
I respect that answer.
That is a direct point. That is a direct influence that Tupac brought to the table.
Now, however, I don't agree with what everything that came with that though. Because East, like real talk, I've seen people die for real off the East Coast, West Coast. That's the only thing.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is not all on him. There's a lot of
media. Yes, sir. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot in play with that.
You know, now, I mean, but still, okay, I would take that. You know what I'm saying? Talent, you know what I'm saying? He brought that upon it. But I would say that was a record label thing right there. Because I think Snoop Dogg even said he didn't even want to do that East Coast, West Coast stuff at all. It was more so Suge Knight pushed it. You know what I'm saying? And they got theories between him and Puff. I don't know. I'm not sure, right? But as an artist, I would give him that because, you know what I'm saying, he's the image, right, of that. He's the image, right? But outside of that, I think that man did way more harm than things that we should celebrate him about. Matter of fact, I don't even like real talk. Besides that one thing you said, I don't even know what we should celebrate. Real talk. Look at the impact. Like okay, for instance, right now, right? Look at the impact of Lil Wayne. All the people after him, right? Trash. The impact of Tupac, right? People trash everything that came after Tupac, but he was the cause of that.
Okay, so what rapper do you praise?
I don't praise none.
Okay, so then you already got a skewed view of it anyway. If you don't like any of it anyway,
but I'm saying I don't think y'all should praise any of them.
I don't mean praising that way. Obviously, I'm not trying to go to the way.
Like give props to. Who do you give props to?
Not praise. Then
I don't mean it in that way. I'm not trying to be like that. I mean just like, yeah. Who do you hold up as the best rappers? Are the ones who effected this positive enough change that should be held up at a higher level than the others?
That should be. Now I like that one, right? That should be.
That
more
should
of those
be.
Right, more of those spoken words were like in the realm of Lupe Fiasco and Common, right? But we already know what we do with them. You know what we do.
But I'm asking who yours are, though. I'm just asking who yours are.
That I'm exposed to.
What's funny is a lot of the people you're going to name are going to name Tupac as one of their greatest influences.
But it's not funny because they actually say specifically why. That matters, right? Like y'all said, right?
Right.
They say specifically why though. Because he definitely pinpointed what goes on in the neighborhood. However, though, the impact that he had on it's like all of us are like that. You will find in 2022, and people are like, no, bullshit. That's a small proportion of the black community.
Yeah,
so, like I said, it did more damage
to affect the bigger part of us.
So
right now, there's you could say that the gang culture represents. It's not really a large part of the black community, but if you converted that small little part to a more righteous path, or if they start pursuing economic liberation, or political liberation, it will make our cause a lot less fucking hard to pursue. Like right now, I feel like our biggest obstacle right now is black independence. Like we don't out of all the nations in the world, all the nations in the world, like almost every race has their own country. You know what I'm saying, that they can claim that they have control over. You know what I'm saying, like so we could say that we have Africa, but like Africa is divided amongst all the other European nations. Like we don't have economic and political control over our own community. You know what I'm saying, so like. Our biggest obstacle right now was having, cultural independence. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, he was a leader. He was at the forefront of rallying people together to be, just be proud to be black, be proud to be strong, people like him were on that level. But now, like a lot of the newer artists, they're not really steering us towards independence. They're steering us back into fucking prison and shit. These are our entertainers. Like they're pipers to the children. Like they're, steering them towards, sexual immorality, fucking, economic waste, buying shit that's not really, gonna be an asset to their family. It's like we buying fucking liabilities right now. It's it's just a lot of waste going on right now, and we don't have a lot of strong fucking artists who are of that ilk. You know what I mean?
You know what F the police got us?
Say that again?
6-year-old, you know what F the police, fuck 12, fuck the police and all this other stuff got us?
What's that?
6-year-olds all the way through, you know what I'm saying? Your grandpa getting killed out here with the same energy, y'all fuck police, right? But when somebody, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm be honest, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people hate him, but I get why. I don't even agree with the guy, but he had some sense when it came to this. Louis Farrakhan, right? It ain't fuck the police for real. What it is why don't you get your ass up in there and infiltrate like Irish did, like other cultures did? Right. That's the advice he should have had to make real change. Because one thing you ain't gonna change is the United States. Right. Let's be clear. We sound like fools around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Asking, hey, can you put us on your level? That part. What idiot with power will let you get on their level? You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been doing all these years. Hey, man, can we please get some more privileges? Right. No, you got to take that shit. Yeah, right? So, so what he promoted was a lot of families and friends, y'all loved ones, got killed off this energy. That wasn't smart. That wasn't smart at all. Your warriors, the ones that could have beefed up some shit in the right time and the right position. What should have been pushed was get in the police force, get your ass in position, right, and you could take this shit by storm, make real impact. Because what we have is we don't have a connection to Africans.
We do.
They don't even claim us. Like let's be clear. We're Americans, right? Right? So what why not take the route? This is just a suggestion. Yo, okay, we Americans. The black proportion.
What does it mean?
This is our culture. Though? You feel me? Huh?
What does it mean to be American? What does it mean to be an American?
Everything is possible.
Okay.
And you and with me being in the military, like
is that unique to America though?
Is that unique? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In comparison to every other country around this whole world, no one can make change like the United States let us make.
I will concede to that. Yeah. So America, the principle of America is that anything is possible, that you could do anything, and that everybody is endowed with certain inalienable rights. You know what I'm saying? To pursue life, liberty, pursue the happiness. So it's like that is ingrained into the foundation of America. Now, is that concept unique to America, or is it possible somewhere else? Like, could that concept exist in a place like Africa?
In Africa, from what I'm told,
and if it can't exist if that concept of the American dream, if it can't exist in Africa, why can it not?
From what I'm told, and just a little bit of dab off the research, I'm be honest, I think we shouldn't even be concerned about Africa personally. But
Africa,
from what I've told,
Africa, the concept,
the continent.
Okay.
Right. Reason being, well, one, off the genetics and all that stuff, we mix with anything, you know what it's going to turn to, right? Right. We've been going for so long, you know what I'm saying? If you look in the gene pool, I love science. We already are committed and transformed with being natives of this country over here. African come over here and all that stuff. We have similarities, but we are not the same. Even the genetics are different. But anyway, to your point, why I can't make change? They already have, things that, they're already under control under so many different countries, right? Per se, that don't want them to actually come up. Now, granted, I already know United States is controlled by somebody else too, if you're trying to hit that point. Right? However, it's been proven in the United States that power is just off your will and your fight and what you're willing to actually sacrifice. For real, it can happen. In other countries, you will get slaughtered. Annihilated. Irish came over here. They was the first niggas. Have y'all ever heard of that before? I'm quite sure y'all have. Where they at right now compared to us?
I don't know, to be honest.
Matter of fact, I know that's like that's not even fair, right? Because we wanted humans back in the day. People want to say that shit too, right? We want to consider humans, right? Yeah, but you could change that too. By force. But people don't want to hear that talk. You know why? Because people that you love would die for that. They will have to die. And that's the truth. But over there in these other countries and all that shit, they ain't even got guns like we do have over here. They don't have the power.
Yeah.
Let me I ain't going to say all that on this recording. But they don't have the power and resources that we have to combat. So I would say we are a way bigger advantage than, you know what I'm saying, continent of Africa. By far. By far. You know, Africa can't even have a military. You know what I'm saying? Over there, like certain places. I know you know that. And it's agreed upon worldwide.
Yeah. Africa.
But you know what I mean? Like the level of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't even have the power to.
Yeah.
But yet we are infiltrated in our military. People that look just like us. We already there. But you know, military is used for international. So we're talking about local. Police. That's the advice y'all should take. I even want to be a police officer before I even joined the military. Why? Because I know when I come in my hood, I know how to operate with these people, period. Right? Ain't no fuck 12. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. And still to this day, people getting killed off that dumbass slogan. Tupac was preaching it. I'm sorry. He a fucking fool, my opinion. I wish he would have lived longer so he could see. But he was young. I get it, but I don't give him no pass for that. I can't give him a pass for that. Because his stuff still lives on and people still playing this shit when they in the mood to be on some fuck shit. When do you turn on Tupac? You know what I'm saying? Some of his music to be on dumb shit. Okay. All right. Then there's other stuff talking about the baby mama shit. Who was highlighting that? Was a crack fiend mama. Or what still was a black queen? A crack fiend was a black queen? You sound dumb as hell, bro.
Hey,
that was his mother.
I don't think you contextualizing that shit.
No.
Come on, you talking about his mother,
yeah,
bro.
Man, they coming up in the 80s. There was a concerted attack against the black people, man. It was like
bro.
That's outside of our
I got
control.
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, man. Bro.
It's a such thing as black like victims that You
It's
familiar with COINTELPRO? You familiar with COINTELPRO?
I am, but before you even get there, you ain't gotta go there.
Yeah,
you put a liquor store on your put a liquor store right next door to your house. Put a liquor store right next to your house. It's up to you to drink it or not, right?
No, yeah. But like, so man, program is so fucking pervasive now. It's like, oh man.
I'm hip. I ain't gonna start. Go ahead.
It's crazy, man.
So like, I don't know. I just know I'm never gonna use crack. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not something that you voluntarily do, but it's just like it's something that you're a product of your environment, man. And like,
fuck that. I bet you told me you use crack that one time.
You know what else is a product of our environment? The people that's millionaires and billionaires that came out the same hood.
Yeah,
so what's the excuse of the next person?
Yeah,
choices.
There's opportunities too, man. You know what I'm saying? So like,
the percentages of people becoming millionaires is insane.
You don't make it access.
Okay,
but let's say, but not even millionaires, but like the people that actually made it out, right? Like you don't have to be a millionaire to make it out. You could be successful in any industry, even like teachers or like sales reps or whatever. Like
that's a different. That's a different understandable point, though. Like. Yeah, the words matter too, so that's why I just said that. But what you're saying, 100% is different. Yeah, you're definitely successful with just above average, middle class lifestyle.
Yes, sir. You like real talk. That's like saying these women nowadays, right? They got an excuse for everything, bro. Vice versa, looking at themselves. You made that choice to smoke that crack.
Yeah.
You made that choice, to like drink that bottle. You made that choice. Influence or not, what you gonna tell your kid? Like your kid come to you, hey, I hit him because my other friends they was hitting him, so I decided to hit him too. So we jumped him. You gonna whoop your son ass. The fuck out of here. You ain't have to hit that boy. So you saying with these grown adults, outside of crack babies, outside of people that got forced to do this, because that happens, but the people that have decisions to make, you giving them a reason to pass, unacceptable. Come on now. We better than this.
Yeah,
we better than this.
Yeah, I mean we have to stop giving people excuses for not. We have to stop giving people excuses for being terrible, right? Like, I mean, people have to be responsible for their own actions. I mean, everyone grows up, crack is whack, blah, 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 all this and that. Everyone knows the effects of it. Like Ali is saying, like, it's, you make the decision to use crack after you know what it does to you. I mean, that's your dumbass fault. Yeah, you can't make an excuse like, oh, well, I grew up around crack addicts. Like,
but I mean, what context are we talking about people using crack? I mean, if we talking about Tupac's mom, we talking about the 80s.
Yeah,
and I mean that's the beginning of crack.
Yeah.
It's no excuse. You know who knew what crack did? The people that was selling it. After that first person they sold it to, they knew what crack do.
I mean, now, if you smoking crack in 2022, that's a different story.
Yeah, back then it was like
a cool thing
to do. That's like now how we have the culture of lean and the pill culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like where it's just you just doing something to be social. It's just a cool thing to do. But then later on, 10 years down the road, you say, "Oh,
right,
shit, like I should
right."
That.
So it's
right.
Like
what's
cancer,
right? What's the crack of this era?
Yeah, the crack of this era is those pills. Those
I think weed.
Opiates. That's
I
what
think weed.
Opiates and fucking
Say weed ain't crack.
Oh yes, it is the weed that they selling y'all.
Yeah, the weed.
Oh, don't go there.
GMO.
Hello.
No natural weed out here.
Hello. Don't go there. I'm telling you, like you talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yo, okay. So if you want to know my job that was in the military, I worked for naval intelligence. Right? I'm not the regular average Joe. I did studies and all this stuff on every other country and ours as well. Right? You know what I'm saying? Not saying I know everything, but I'm saying like I can at least put up a theory and a rebuttal, and we could probably get to the answer or somewhat close to it. Right? Still, just because the 80s, right? So you telling me, that's what you're saying. Let's say in Chicago, any given day, I know blocks is 100 people out there, right? You give it out free. Let's say 50% of the people, you know what I'm saying, they going to take that, right? They going to take that, right? But okay, they come back. You see the effects of that. You need to tell me, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hell, I want to do that too, right? But somebody said, hell no. It only takes like, what, a week? Matter of fact, it don't even take that, bro. Crack the way it was coming. People's coming back the next day, 2 times a day. Right? So you mean to tell me, even with that analysis, these people, you know what I'm saying, they didn't know what they was trying? Yes, they did. They just made a choice.
I don't think you see the outward effects of crack in a week.
Yes. Okay. The hood I grew up in.
I don't think in a week. I mean, I grew up in hoods with a lot of crack. My auntie been a crackhead since I was alive, I don't think you see the crackhead in a week. Nah, bro, I don't think you see the effects in a week. You may say 6 months or something like that.
No offense, you gotta do more research. And me personally, you know what I'm saying?
My in a week, you saying in a week you saw,
bro, in a day.
You saw effects of crack.
The effects of crack in a day, the same day, bro. I'm not gassing you up. You can look it up.
I ain't got to get gassed up. I lived around it. I saw it myself. I'm talking about my own eyes too.
Okay, so what's the effects of crack? What's the effects of crack?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Somebody can keep their shit together in a week of doing crack, bro. Like, that's not enough time for some shit to fall. People can still have their shit together in a week of smoking crack.
No, like bro, the addiction of crack.
They do got functional. Hey, what's that dude? It was like a professor who was he does
like I mean I know people can be addicted to crack, but I mean to the point where people see the outward effects of it on them, that don't happen in a week.
No, bro.
I was talking about it when you were saying how you can see somebody and then you choose to still do it. I'm saying, yeah, they can be addicted to it. They'll be addicted to it, but the world won't see the outward effects like that. It don't just fall apart for most people in a week. You know what I'm saying? They still are moving around and it grows and it grows. The habit gets bigger and bigger and it takes over shit and shit breaks down. People don't go in a week and go from, I just tried crack on Monday and by next Monday, I'm a full-blown in the street crackhead.
Actually, this is how it actually happens though, because it ain't attacked, you know what I'm saying? A crack was the poor man drug. It wasn't a rich man drug, right? So the rich man, you know what I'm saying, if he took crack, it's gonna take some while for you to actually see the effects of the effects that tore up our families was these motherfuckers selling your goddamn big screen TV to get this shit. They was attacking the poor neighborhoods, right? Poor neighborhoods, how much money you think they got? You acting like, you know what I'm saying? You acting like, well, excuse me. I'm just saying where I live. I don't know where you live in, bro. Motherfuckers ain't too much have shit off top. So the effects we saw quick. We saw quick, bro. Unfortunately, I got to do. I went to high school, star player. He smoked crack. How? I don't know. It's 2022. The nigga smoked crack, bro. He made a choice.
Seen a lot of crackheads, bro.
And he knew the effects.
I see a lot. I see a lot of crackheads. I see a lot of crackheads.
You know
all I was addressing was when you say
the effects, right?
A week, the week of somebody seeing some, like, bro, people hold shit together more than a week. Or I seen crackheads who own crack, who still work jobs and do all this, and then you see them get worse and worse to the point where they ain't got a place and they on the street. It ain't happened in a week. That's a crazy timetable. And I was in a poor neighborhood, and I was around crackheads and all that shit too.
Well, I'm gonna be specific with the effects, though. I'm gonna be specific because I think what I'm hearing from you is more so of like the end result of people losing everything, right? That's gonna take time.
Not just
right?
that. I was saying not just necessarily that. I'm talking about how you're saying how when you first was talking, because I'm not.
Yeah.
We keep switching the topic. It was like I'm just talking about in the sense of how you say yes, and you're saying that people will see it in a day, in a week, like where you'll know not to use a drug because these effects of somebody. That's what I'm talking about. So like these people be on crack, but if you're not actively looking and seeing these people, they can be on crack and keep their shit together more than a week. That's just like not a realistic timetable.
Look up Dr. Carl Hart, dude.
And we're talking about because bro talking about in the 80s with the crack, right? He was brought it up. So it was like, okay, you ain't seeing the effects of what crack doing to the community in a week. You ain't seeing it to a person in a week. Niggas can hold that shit together for a week.
Okay. Well, let me explain the effects that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because this the effects that we're talking about. They alter your decision. Right?
But you're saying about people notice, like you said, me noticing. So you or me, I got on crack. You stay by each other. You see somebody on crack. You might not even know I'm on crack in a week. I can maintain a week. A week ain't shit. I can sell my own shit. I ain't even got the stealing shit yet. I could just get
You sound like you're talking for
my own shit. I sell my shit off in a week.
Right, that's.
Yeah,
I think I got your
he
position.
take some crack. That's what he's saying.
So look, I got
he said he take crack.
The position where I'm coming from.
His crack game strong.
So check this, right? So check this, right? The position that I'm in, you know what I'm saying, and that what most people start being in, you know what I'm saying. You start seeing people coming back, so everybody starts selling it. Now everybody not using it yet, right? Because it's new on the scene, right? But what came before crack? You know what I'm saying? It's just drugs in general. The effects of drugs. So if you know the effect of a drug, and you can see what the effect, it's the effect, the pattern, decision-making skills. That's why it's harmful. So alcohol, primary drug. People already know what alcohol could do to a person. Now you saying you speed this up, crack, known fact, decision-making skills. And a person, these ain't people that, you ain't talking about people you don't know. You're talking about people that you do know. You know that you immediately see the change, just like your wife or your son. You immediately could see change. If you're not, you ain't paying attention, and that's a problem.
We keep changing. That's a change of the conversation again. We start making about like you making it even more personal. Of course, if it's your wife or your husband in the house with you, you'll notice a change more. But you're saying like he was talking about the 80s.
Affected. Am I correct?
He was talking about the 80s and how people didn't even know about what crack was doing till it was already doing it.
Our relationships, not people.
So now you saying it in your house, that's obviously that's gonna be different. That's more disingenuous of a pick because obviously in your house you don't know it.
Actually, that's not disingenuous. Like you act like it wasn't relationships back in the day. Well, we were just all human beings walking around. No, it was people's wife. No, it was people's husband. But I'm saying no. I'm saying you're trying to take away that people won't see the effects. You just proved, you know what I'm saying, when you're breaking down me, right? You were saying, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, of course you were seeing the house. Well, that alone just said, that proves my point. This wasn't just people that was like living on the streets.
You're taking a huge situation and making it very singular, right? And if you make everything singular, listen, if you make everything singular, you can make anything fit for a conversation by making it singular. You're talking about a community being ravaged by crack in the 80s. For anybody know what it was. Of course, a husband might know that his wife is on crack faster, but a community might not know that people are on something. They might not know the effects of what this drug is, right? And in a community, until it's already ravishing the community, and that will take longer than a week to happen.
I'm trying to break it
Right?
down real quick.
People are not
They
going to see
operate as a
that.
community back in the day.
Yeah,
People don't
hell,
gossip back in the day. The barbershop wasn't alive back in the day where people talk. They will break down every theory that you just had. All it takes is like, man, I seen
That
such
break
and
it
such.
down.
That breaks down every theory that you just said.
Alright.
Just say like off people not knowing. Bro, people talk. Even they say dudes don't talk. Dudes talk just as much as women, right?
So let me
It
ask
takes
you this.
one person.
Let me ask you this, broski. So if everybody knew the effects, then why do people still fall into it?
Choice, vulnerability. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
a lot of
why?
people
But
looking
why?
for.
So if you know that something that's going to be like super detrimental to your life and it's going to destroy your family and community, like why do people still make that choice?
Well, when I was in the AA, when I went to AA meetings, whatever, to talk to these alcoholics, we had the same question. Same people were smoking weed, we had the same question. People still do it to this day. Am I correct?
Yeah, but why?
That's their answer. But but the point is, they still do it, and knowing it's bad for them.
Yeah, but they don't. I don't feel like they go out and seek it. Like I feel like the options is presented to them. And that's my gripe is like the option is there. You know what I'm saying?
You false on that, man.
No.
Come on, man.
So
like
it's not like. So do I go out and create crack and go smoke it? No, somebody introduces the crack to you, and then they make that a part of they make that an option for you to choose from. You know what I'm saying?
And you have
and then they also create the environment that makes you navigate to that choice. Is my gripe,
I mean,
choice.
It's a choice, but like your choice is you're presented with options. Like you don't just choose some shit that don't exist. You choose between the options that you're presented with. And like, why are you presented with those options? You know what I'm saying? Is my gripe.
But I mean, you can look at it like this. Like, I go to the grocery store, I'm presented with a choice of paying for my groceries or just walking out of the store with them.
Yes, sir.
So it's like,
yeah, but
with the whole drug thing is like, I mean, if we're talking, I mean, it's different in the 80s when it first started coming around and no one really knew about the effects. But now it's 2022. We know what happens with crack. We know what heroin can do with you. You know what meth can do to you. It's like at this point, like no matter what your mental state is, if you feel like your only escape is using crack, that's your decision. But I mean, you have to deal with the consequence of it. But the fact is, why is that your go-to?
It's not always a choice though. I mean, think of DMX. Why was DMX on crack?
Still, after multiple rehabs times, that's crazy as shit.
What did he say? What did he say? I'm not familiar. What did he say?
He was
somebody gave him a lace blunt.
Yeah. As a teenager. As a teenager. That's what made DMX addicted to crack.
He didn't choose that.
Whatever, 2000 or 19, whatever.
But that's not the problem.
So that's one case of that wasn't his choice.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the force, right? Or the.
That's how a lot of people get introduced to it. It's like I don't think people.
That's not. Are we being singular? Are we talking singular? Or are we talking space? Because that's the thing. Like it seems sometimes we go singular with situations, and then sometimes we ain't talking about just singular. Then it don't hold across. Because like to me, that's a case, but that's typically not the case. Most people make a decision, right, to take drugs. Mm-hmm. And how bro just said in 2022 we choose to do that. I definitely can say, if that's a choice in this day and age, it's a choice you made. What I was addressing again was like in the 80s when homie was talking about how they didn't even know what it was going to do. Mm-hmm. I think that still have a different amount of grace to me. Like obviously the day you are, I
give it grace.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's all. That's the whole point I was making out of it. Well, that they got it because that at this point I can't really give. If you choose, we take out all the singular cases and say if you choose to say, "Give me that crack, my nigga, I'm gonna go in." If you choose to do that, what's happening. Like we aware that I don't have. I'm not. That's not the most sympathetic position for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, I know. But yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. You good?
All right. So I know. Generally, say he was attacking the 80s, right? They weren't aware, but what I'm saying, I still would say like on the majority, no, it don't take that a lot of people. Matter of fact, not now that's we ain't talking hypothetical. We're talking about facts, right? Facts. You had a drug dealer. They knew. You had the people that actually took it.
That's the scum of the earth. If you're gonna be the bird,
if
you being a piece of shit, we can't act. You can't expect the criminal to have a conscience, right?
But no, I get it. But like, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, well, I would say and hope there was some people that told their family members, "Hey, don't fuck with this shit. I'll sell it, but you don't fuck with it." Right?
Yeah,
but they told it. You know what I'm saying? Or they told they.
You can't put the moral parameter on them. Is what I'm saying. We can't. I ain't really gonna apply parameter criminals for the most part. It's maybe they have morals, maybe they don't.
Always
for the
criminals.
most part,
Right. Yeah. But I mean, but the point when people keep on saying like they didn't know, but how much you talking about they didn't know, bro, to affect us that much. You can't say it wasn't choice.
Depend what time period we talking about.
In the 80s.
That's all. All I'm saying is,
but
all
that
I was
much
saying, but we already passed that because I just said when I said I give them grace, and you say I give them grace. Then we just addressed it. That's it. Right. We can needle into it, but really, I just know that they deserve some grace because this is not the information age. This was not the point where you can know all this stuff a lot of times. And again, more than what you would think, you could be the most aware person in the world. Most people are not maybe even that aware to what's going around them. I'm saying, and I see that a lot dealing with my business that I'm in. With you know what I'm saying, and so I can see people around, not especially without the internet, not being aware of what's really going on until it has a grip on a neighbor. Just how stuff is doing now, how fentanyl is killing people now, just how meth is spreading crazy now. Because when they get a hold of people, man, even that's with the internet. That stuff's so addictive. It's crazy that
you know what
you can't stop it once they get going. So you take out the internet. If you take out the internet, you tell me it can be way more people. You know what I'm saying? Before people realize what it is, just because how unattached people can be.
You know what? I will say this, right? What it was like, you put anything in that. Like, take crack out. Let's put opioid there. Whatever the case is, crack was just so happened to be presented at the time. But what it really was, like, you got some people. They gonna try just to have a party, good time. But then you got a lot of people, especially you talking about poverty, because that's what they attack. They looking for something to cope in life.
Yeah,
alcohol, all that. You know what I'm saying? Now the strength of crack, right? That's what I'm saying. Some people are like, man, that did wonders on us. But however, it did wonders. But to this day, right now, we overcame that. So my thing is, you know what I'm saying? It's still the real root of the problem was, you know what I'm saying? People, you know what I'm saying, they using all these artificial things to cope when they should have been using their will. They will, good advice, I don't know, looking at other folks to see how to come up in life, hell, build a black community, right?
But see now, but listen,
right?
But now you get,
you know what I'm saying?
But listen, let me say one thing right there. Sorry to cut you off, let me say one thing. But that get dicey a little too, because then you have to deal with how mental health wasn't seen as anything. So you got a lot of people who don't have that capacity a lot of times to cope with a lot of this stuff, or had the thing. Wow. I know I probably don't. I can feel like I can make it. I've made it without those things. Some people can't, and that I'm not gonna look down on them for that. But it wasn't in place to help you. I don't look. No, what I'm saying is I don't look down on them for not being able to cope by themselves. Now you can still choose wrong, but now you're dealing with a different deck of cards than I'm dealing with, right? So like, I ain't saying that you should choose drugs or something like that, but people be like bipolar, these different things. The only type of ways they'll say they have had relief and things besides they get on medicine, and when medicine not available, and sometimes the inside people's minds is worse than the drug.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
They
came up with an answer for that though. They actually, if you watched some of Harlem, it was on ethics, right? Anyway, I mean, I go off facts, right? Nation Islam, so they should tie people down just to get them to kick that rock. The military alone, you know what I'm saying? People had to quit smoking weed just to get up in there to change their life. Granted, some people went back, you know what I'm saying, to smoke some weed, to whatever. They reasoning. But That's still no excuse for me. And I will look down upon a person because my thing is in life, it's a such thing as number one, number two, and number three. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm worse than you. If you operate think everybody equal, you a fool. You lying to yourself, man. And don't even cheat yourself because you are better than most people. Just I'm even hearing real talk. Everybody I heard on this panel, you have a self awareness that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm hearing that you are better than most people. I see you walking around in Jacksonville. Embrace that. Why not? Look down upon like what that's it's not harming them. If more than anything, it's like, oh, how they taking it, right? Nigga, what do you tell your son? Get your ass up, dust yourself off, let's get it together. Right? What's the problem? Saying to him nice, right? That's the problem. Right? Saying it to him nice and all that shit. Where did they go with that, right? How far did they go? Typically nowhere from what we see. But it's that tough love that we all have noticed. That's what people need, right? Because other than that, you're enabling them. So it's like we know all these facts right now, but we still leading on. And yeah, it may take time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just making it hit home for Jerome for real. Apply it, man. Especially even relationships, we say a motherfucker ain't gonna recognize how good you are till you leave their ass, right? Hard love. Hard love. Tough love. Instead of sugarcoating this shit to people and all that shit, like, oh man, it wasn't your fault. Yeah. Yes, the fuck it was. Your son got killed. It wasn't your fault. Yes, the fuck it was. These baby mamas. Why the fuck you keep living in the fucking hood where you know damn well they shooting every night?
They can't get out that.
Get your ass out the hood. I ain't got the money. Go get a fucking job.
It ain't that easy, Dad.
My baby daddy ain't around. You chose that nigga.
Well, that part.
Choices. Everything I named was choices.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you alleviate that? At the beginning, it comes with teaching. But yeah, y'all still giving these people the out route off of it wasn't your fault. That's bullshit. And I don't stand by that. Y'all gonna get the result of me, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all gonna benefit off of me because I'm holding everybody accountable like I hold myself. If y'all join the path, y'all gonna be the same way. Real talk. Because like real shit, back in the day, and I will bring it back in 1919, right? It's weak ass bloodlines wouldn't even exist. Because they was killing their ass off. There was a reason. We had fucking disease. It's a reason. I know a lot of people don't take life. No, fuck that. It's a such thing as a human fucking cancer. By the way they move, how they talk, what they implement. You're a disease. You're affecting everybody with this, like with the bullshit. Now, and being a man, right? As everybody depicts us as being men, the strongest of, you know what I'm saying, men and women, right? How can you sit here and, you know what I'm saying, give all these excuses to motherfuckers when we supposed to be the strength? What do you represent? You want to show a sign of weakness, what that's going to do for, you know what I'm saying, the people that look up to you. When it's time to go to war, because war ain't over, we just in a time period where it's peace. You're going to pick this nigga, you know what I'm saying, that's been on some, oh man, we going to talk it out. Meanwhile, this nigga shooting up everybody around this bitch. But guess what? That's going to be the nigga that tell the fucking story though, right? While all these courageous men, you know what I'm saying, that lost their fucking life for a bigger cause. For this weak motherfucker. Meanwhile, you only as strong as your weakest link, and y'all got these niggas out here weak as hell. Get on their ass like you get on yourself. If you ain't get on yourself, nigga, it's time to do it. Everybody in my circle eat. Everybody in my circle get this same heat that like I'm talking to y'all. It's bullshit. Nigga, I'm only as strong as motherfuckers I network with. And I'm sorry if you weak, bro. I can't have you around me, bro. Because you will be, I won't say they're cancer, but that's what it is. They will destroy us. Military tactics, you know that. We're going to hit your weakest spot to destroy you. The household, we're going to hit your most vulnerable spot, your woman. We're going to hit your kids when they go to school.
That's what's going on, Dad.
And again, I'm not trying to get on y'all, you know what I'm saying? All this shit, you know what I'm saying? To get on y'all ass. But wake up, man.
You know you sound like right now, though. I ain't gonna tell you that, but
and that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. But like, I am a barber, and what most people say, yo, this is merely but barbershop talk, bro. And it's been amongst men. And you already know niggas used to get cut up in the barbershop, bringing a weakness up in there. because the man would set that shit straight, and that's when y'all would agree. We was the strongest.
So the barbers would fuck your hair up if you came.
Hey man, some of the niggas couldn't cut anyway.
Nah, nigga, you can do this weak shit, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I ain't gonna lie. I'm cut different, like for real. I ain't going to stunt. You know what I'm saying? When I have to look at it, look back, man. I honor my father to this day. Me and him got the best relationship ever. You know what I'm saying? There was a difference between me growing up, me and most of my peers. They ain't grew up with their father. Real talk. My right hand man's, he just recently talked to his father a year ago, and his father ended up passing after meeting this man. And when he finally got the true story of his father, you know, his mama was dogging him the whole time. His father actually, he said, either risk my life coming to see you because your mama had her brother pulling out pistols on me trying to shoot me, or see you when you get older, right? My nigga, he moves more like, you know what I'm saying, a weak nigga, and he looked to me for guidance on most shit. And he said it to me. I got text messages and all that shit. Every nigga that been around me, they looked up to me, and these niggas older than me. Every time my birthday come around every year on Facebook, like, damn, bro, you that old? You younger than me, bro? Yeah, I am. What's the difference between the two that I can identify off top? Choices, that's one. Two, my father was around and the type of father he was. Because I ain't going to lie, I don't even give credit to niggas just being a nigga that had a kid. Maybe your daddy was wrong too. Maybe your dad, I swear to God, the girl I'm talking to right now, I educate her daddy every day. This nigga called me for advice. How was that? The nigga 63. Right now, this man got his daughter out here, you know what I'm saying, real shit, doing whatever the fuck she want. He won't say shit to her because he was locked up for 10 years and he want a relationship with his daughter. I said, man, you're doing way more damage because you're trying to get a fucking relationship with your daughter by, you know what I'm saying, actually helping her do this bullshit when you could tell her the real, you know what I'm saying? And when she fuck around and bump into that shit to realize what you were saying was true, all of us did that, right? We ain't believe everything our parents told us to that she hit us in the face. Damn, mom and dad was right, right? You take that route. I'm telling this grown ass man this 63. 63. This shit ain't coming out of nowhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't saying this the only answer, but however, I'm looking at what works. What at least works. I tell you the result of the other shit that y'all be talking about. All these goddamn programs and all that shit. Hey, oh, guys, sit down. Oh, you could cry. You know, and look at these niggas out here right now, right? That's the product. This y'all product. This y'all product. And speaking on crack, right? Crack, right? Why did they get that shit to the niggas, right? When we were so-called strong. That proves the fact right there. To tear that nigga down. Right there. Why was the Black Panther Party a threat? Right? Be strong, man. You can. If you can't, lean on others that are strong. And please don't be a cancer to them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
My bad.
Yeah. Sound like a good conclusion to me because it's almost 4 o'clock and
my bad. Go ahead. Yeah.
Nah, it's been a good talk, man. I appreciate meeting all y'all cats, man. It was definitely entertaining. Yeah, and I'm about to go to sleep, so yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. My bad, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? You know, I saw him like him and all that. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, man, I love these conversations because you never know, you know what I'm saying, what you could gain from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and real talk, I've had these multiple conversations multiple times, whatever, with individuals, different walks of life. And man, the military helped me even see even more different walks of life. And I ain't going to say we're too far down the path, man, but you know what I'm saying? We working towards it. Just the open conversation alone, man, it's opening up people's eyes, even myself, and maybe a better man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually like, I'm proud of, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at. And the fact that, you know what I'm saying, my father, you know what I'm saying, he even tell me, you know what I'm saying, he proud of me because I'm a better version of him. You know what I'm saying? It means the world. If you know who my father is, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Yeah, that's all, man. We all striving for the best, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I can't let y'all down, man, you know? Yeah. So yeah.
I appreciate that energy, dog. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you sound like Pac, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm telling you, you got that nigga energy, dog.
Hey, you pretty sad.
Niggas are sleeping on this
sure.
energy, dog. It's a real thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? You might not agree with everything he did, you know what I'm saying? But like it's a framework, it's a kernel of truth that he possessed that you know it lives on, dog. And I think that's what we got to keep. He had a piece of somebody else in him. It wasn't just Pac, you know what I'm saying? He was carrying on, you know, the energy of the people before him. You know, the Huey Newtons, the Huey P. Newtons and all that shit. Like, you know, that shit was that shit is what needs to persist. And,
I will say, man, to help y'all out, you know, so the Tupac thing. I was just trying to open it up. I honestly for y'all just to see other standpoints of what I've been hearing from the youth, right? But one thing I will say about Tupac and people in his time frame, it's a such thing as they did the best they can with the information that they had and the position that they was in.
That part right there, and that's everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
You can't ask for too much more than that. Dad. Do the best you can with what you got. Dad. Anything outside of that, you might be asking too much. Dad.
Yes, sir, man. Dang, y'all got me.
We're gonna keep it going with another episode. You know, this might conclude this episode, but you know, we're gonna do another one and get another topic. I really want to get into that recidivism shit. You know what I'm saying? With you know, the young black people going to jail, going in and not being rehabilitated, coming out and going right back in, this type shit. You know what I'm saying? No child left behind type shit is what we on right now, dude.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, every warrior, you know what I'm saying, who ain't, you know, on the battlefield is a lost warrior, that I don't care how small you is. We need you on the team, though. This ain't no game. It's getting real out here right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I will say, man, it's been a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, for you guys inviting me, man. I went out with no $40 and I was playing around. I just cleared my mind, man. But regardless of the fact, you know what I'm saying, like, man, he hit me up, me and Green, hit me with the Zoom. Yeah. I figured out the Zoom stuff, and it's always a pleasure with you boys, like, for real, because like you guys are highly intelligent. And I will say that you guys are a great product, you know what I'm saying, of our culture and whatever culture that you may want to identify with us, man. But I think we all in one, man. And it's just a pleasure just to be on this panel with y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
I'm signing out. Thank you.
What's up?